much to say. I think that I would like you anyway. You take me from the hospital.
As per my last zero.
Just like the show. Just like the show, we're looping around here.
Let's just do this a few times.
Starting pod in a new world from as per my last zero.
That's how we do it.
Yeah. Welcome everyone to the first episode of Forward ReZero. It's a ReZero rewatch podcast. I'm Sara.
I'm Morg.
And I'm Niamh.
This is not a rewatch podcast for me.
No, it's a new watch podcast
for you. Watch podcast.
That's what makes the formula best. You know, there's I think there can be many arguments made as like the two podcasts I look to about this are, for example, The Shrieking Shack, in which both of the hosts are intimately acquainted with the source material, or the Peagot family of products, where excluding the original post Game of Thrones, every show since has been something Eddie knows and Brooks does not. I think we have found the perfect middle ground, which is to have two people who know the source material well already and one person who doesn't know jack shit.
It is just Departure Lounge.
It is literally two people coming up to a third person and saying, "My girlfriend and I like your vibe. Do you want to be on our anime podcast?"
But yeah, Niamh and I, we watched ReZero. Well, I had seen most of ReZero last year, and like I made it to like about the midpoint of season 2 with my friend Roswell. Shout out Roz. I made it about midway through season 2, and then I started from episode 1 with Niamh, and we finished it a month or two ago. And we were like, we'd been talking on and off the entire time we watched it, how much we wanted to like do a podcast about it. And then as we were like coming down the pipe of like, oh fuck, I said I was going to start this podcast in November. We were like, what if we got Morg on board?
Yeah.
Damn, what if I'm here?
What if Morg was there?
And I'm just like, what is happening?
There's so many things happening in this first episode. There's so many things that happen in this first episode that I can't even talk about yet.
Why? Because it's all spoilers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Hate to break it to you, Morg, but stuff happens in this story.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there are a couple of like things that I will break spoiler protocol for, like nothing major, obviously, but like there's like a fun joke about like an enemy later on in this series that's in this first episode, just based on its name.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes, tell me that one.
I will. But yeah, so we watched, depending on which version you watched, we watched the first episode of the director's cut, the end of the beginning and the beginning of the end. But you may have watched episodes 1A and 1B, which are called...
I think they're just called Part 1 and 2.
They're definitely not just called Part 1 and 2.
I think they are.
No, nuh-uh.
Yes!
Fuck, I think you're right, actually.
I think they're both called the end and the beginning, the beginning of the end of the beginning, the beginning of the end of the...
Yeah, the end of the beginning and the beginning of the end. So you either watched the full director's cut without or you watched the original run of it, which was Part 1, which was episodes 1A and 1B.
I think the director's cut, like, they are all kind of named with, like, the other ones are named, like, the 2 episodes.
They're like the second episode of the director's cut is named Reunion with the Witch / Starting Life from Zero in Another World.
Yeah. Swag.
But yeah, we watched the first episode.
Yeah, so why don't we... So, some people are going to be listening to this and not know what show we are talking about exactly.
Oh yeah, despite the fact that the show's name is in the podcast title.
Well, like they're gonna
arguably,
there's people who are gonna be like, "What show is this again?" I don't recognize this title, but they would probably recognize some other things that would identify this series.
I would argue that honestly, like, I would argue that. I mean, if you're in my circle, if you are getting this because you are a friend of mine, you know about the show because I don't fucking shut up about it.
I don't shut up about it.
The thing is that, like, I would argue that this is one of the most well-known animes that came out of the 2010s. Like,
really,
I think this, when did the Hunter x Hunter, was that like, did that start in 2011? Yeah, that,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that has like manga that preceded it, and also a 90s,
decades.
yeah, and a 90s anime series as well. I hate to admit it, but probably Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, you're right. Like, we have to acknowledge that Attack on Titan was popular, and
Yeah,
Really?
is popular.
yes.
Really, what I was
Tragically.
gesturing towards was like, if you weren't aware, this is the show with the maids. That's basically all I wanted to get across.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even though I know you are one who has watched this show, hearing the show reduced to the one with the maids does like ignite a primal fury.
They weren't even in
You're
this
about
one.
to like yell, like, ah! How dare
I'm cackling, waking up, and it's in a baby stand. The word "show with maids" is scraped on my arm with a knife.
Fuck. I don't know what this means.
That's fine. Niamh gets it, I'm sure.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
I will confess, I do not know the most about JoJo.
That is all right. I'm gonna be fucking up a creek about this shit. I'm fucking SpongeBob SpongeBob in the fucking desert, or SpongeBob in Sandy's house, like waiting for Sam or Jordan to come on the podcast.
I know the broad strokes. I know what stands are. I know who Kakyoin is.
Me too, Niamh. Niamh and I are just like no-butting you. We're like, no, I don't know shit.
Oh God.
I don't know
Stay
dick about
tuned
ass.
for when Sara inevitably makes me watch JoJo for a podcast or something.
I mean, that probably won't be for a podcast. Like, I'll probably just be like hanging out with you sometime and be like,
Yeah.
hey, let's watch some JoJo.
Yare gays.
Okay, just cribbing the bit entirely.
yeah, just
Yeah,
stealing
I
it.
mean that's literally what it would be if you did a podcast about it.
yeah,
Yeah, true.
yeah. Oh God. The thing is that like,
I mean, we were good at crib. Like, do you want to talk about the other potential titles we were gonna go with?
the other potential titles that we worked for, like, I guess peek behind the curtain for this first episode. The working title for this show for a while was Special Made Snacks, because the original pitch of this show was, I had suggested to friend of the pod, friend of the us, Kay, who I do Special Grade Snacks, the Jujutsu Kaisen watch along podcast,
Enemy
with,
of the me.
and I was like, hey, what if you and me did another podcast and we called it Special Made Snacks, and it was about ReZero, and we brought Niamh on, and Kay was like, that might be a good idea. And then like 2 weeks later, Kay was like, no, it would just be Niamh and I like being mean to each other for 2 hours.
You know,
And-
and I really cannot fault them. That seems like a pretty accurate assessment of what would happen.
And then I entered into a bond with Kay as that I would watch all of season 1 of Loki if they watched the first half of
God.
season 1 of ReZero, and they just fucking hated the show.
So that's something I found out that like a few people do not like this show, and
They
not
are
just
wrong.
because of the first episode either.
I shouldn't say they are wrong, but
They are wrong.
They're a little wrong, but that's fine.
I disagree with them,
I'm
and that
wrong
means
about
they're
so
wrong.
many. There's so many things that I'm wrong about, and you know what? That's fine.
yeah.
It be
You
like
can fi-
that sometimes. I'm just here like, I've been told it gets better.
It does get better.
I'm waiting.
My fear with this is that like Morg doesn't like it, and we have to replace you like halfway through the third season.
That would be really funny, actually. You just like replace me and then never acknowledge that like I've been replaced.
Morg did not have
Just
the
like
proper
Jordan comes
commitment.
out and just it's like the worst possible impression of you. And we're like, oh hey, it's Morg.
Oh God.
So we should get into this.
Yeah, we should get into this.
We watched, like I said, the first episode, the end of the beginning and the beginning of the end, and this anime opens with our guy Subaru.
Natsuki Subaru.
We love him. Well, I do.
I did find myself rather endeared to him on this watch. Overall I found that the second watch was the one I enjoyed the more.
Yeah, the thing is that like as a protagonist, I haven't even like said what happens at the very start of the show, but the thing about Subaru is that like a lot of people say that he gets better, and he does, but like for a lot of people he starts in like completely unbearable territory.
Right.
But I was like really endeared to him from the start. Like he definitely did get better for me, but like he started at a pretty okay place as well. Like I'm trying to think of other anime protagonists who I have just fucking outright despised and just kept going with because
and to be clear, he does post some cringe in this episode.
Oh, he posts some major one of his major character traits is posting cringe.
He loses so much subscriber in this one.
He loses a lot of subscriber, but like, okay, so I actually have a thing about this. So
okay,
so part of the reason I had asked like how old is this kid, and you were like, well, he's like 17. I'm like, wow, this is kind of a realistic 17-year-old. Like, not to be like that, but like he's kind of a realistic 17-year-old boy. Like, he doesn't maybe react as strongly as I would have to the stuff happening to him, but like, you know, he's just kind of like he starts off at a convenience store. We should just say that outright. There's
a naivety to his character.
He's just at a normal convenience store. He's a gamer.
Yep. He's reading manga, and there's like the things he's doing at the convenience store. Like he grabs like a cup ramen. He grabs some corn potato chips, which are
corn potage or whatever it was called.
Corn potage, yeah. And these are interspersed with like what we find out later are shots of him dying on the floor of Old Man Ram's house. Yeah. And looking at who Old Man Ram is and why Subaru is dying on his floor. Fucking.
So, because I don't know that, because this is my first watch through, you do find out in these first 2 episodes, but I was just
What did you think was happening in those? Because I don't remember what my thoughts were in those moments when I was watching that.
Sure. So my thought was like, at first I was like, is this other person someone he knows? Is there an alternate version of himself or whatever? So I kind of got that, like, that it was hit. Like, the way I was interpreting it is that, like, he was saving himself somehow from, like, the real world, you know, like,
the thing that I will say to you, Morg, is that there are, as the show is right now, at the end of the second season, which is as far as I've completed right now. I cannot speak to the light novels because I have not read them, but I still don't know dick about what that opening 3-minute salvo is about. Like, I do not really understand, like, the way that it is shot, it is like, it makes it feel like contemporaneous, like they're happening at the same time. Like, one Subaru is like shopping for, you know, corn potage, and one Subaru is dying, like bleeding out onto Old Man Ram's floor and just staining the wood. And I don't really, because it does seem like something reaches out to him, because like what we get, like we see like this purple glowy hand like reaches the camera, and Subaru says, "I'm gonna save you," and we find out later that he's talking to Satella, but he like the hand reaches out at the screen and he says, "I'm gonna save you," and like the world like kind of like shifts around him. Like it is as though, like, you know that one Calvin and Hobbes strip where everything becomes neo-impressionist briefly?
Of course I do.
Yeah, like it becomes neo-cubist for like a brief, or it's Calvin and Hobbes becoming neo-cubist for a brief moment, and then he just like
he closes one eye.
He looks around him and it is like he looks around him and rubs his eyes like, oh, I guess my gamer eyes must be so tired.
my cringe gamer eyes.
Yeah. Also, there's when he's like checking out of the convenience store, he pulls out a grooved edge 10 yen coin and is like, "Ooh, I'm gonna save this."
The dub called this the jagged edged coin, which I don't think. No, that's not the right word. I don't think.
It's the same thing. I'm not gonna get into fucking.
But like, it implies like a coin that looks like a buzzsaw is the thing.
Oh, that'd be sick though.
That would be super sick.
Yeah.
I love the world building in this already.
Widely distributed currency that could be used as a deadly weapon if need be. I mean, I guess that would even the playing field, because I bet there was someone who could I bet that there was someone in the world out there who could huck a dollar coin at me with enough force to kill me. But if there were just razor coins, then everyone would have a lethal coin on hand.
Here's our new 10-cent coin. It's a cyanide capsule.
It's dime, but it's DIEME.
Dime.
But so the thing that's interesting about this is that this is when Subaru gets pulled into the other world, the Kingdom of Lugnica. We later find out.
The Kingdom of Lugnica.
What's interesting about this to me is that I am not an extremely studied isekai watcher, but I cannot think of another isekai that I've watched to completion, but I've started a lot of them. And
yes.
I cannot
Me too.
I can't think of one that has that starts in a way that is not the protagonist getting killed in the real world.
Yeah.
The time I got reincarnated as a slime, I think the guy is a salaryman that gets stabbed to death. Something Seventh Son is, I watched 2 episodes of it last year, but a guy just fucking dies in his apartment about it.
I heard there's that one that's by the Mazo Dushi person, the
Scumvillain.
Yeah, Scumvillain.
Where the guy gets so mad online about the writing that he dies and becomes reincarnated as the villain.
I'm that's just gonna happen to me. If I ever get isekai, it's because I got mad online.
You got too internet mad?
Yes, I was wow, that's so relatable. Damn. But so I have heard of things where people I feel the transported to another world without dying thing is something you hear about more in books. I can't think of specific books.
Well, this is based on a light novel series, so.
Oh, duh, yeah. I guess I mean even books that.
A Sentence of a Bookworm. That's another. God, sorry, I just fucking exploded. I was just trying to remember what's that other isekai that and then I remembered A Sentence of a Bookworm. That was a good show.
I heard good things.
That also does start with, I believe that does begin with the main character dying and then being reincarnated as baby mine just born, just out, 6 years old.
I feel a lot of people...
Go ahead.
Oh, all I was going to say is I feel a lot of the time I would come across it more in fanfic when I was younger. People would transport their themselves into the world. They'd be oh fuck, I got transported into this video game I love. I didn't die to do it, I just kind of got sucked in.
Yeah, I think that's I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't think Sword Art Online is an isekai, because it's an isekai, but
I'm not even talking about Sword Art, but you're right.
No, but that's the first thing that comes to mind, because that is what happens in that. Everyone gets sucked into the video game world, and then it's Matrix, and then it's stay alive rules. You die in the game, you die for real. But I think that, God, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. What I'm saying is just, I think that it's interesting that the extent of Subaru's violent journey to this world is that he blinks a couple of times, and then when he opens his eyes after blinking, he's in another land, just standing there with his cool tracksuit and his bag of
treats,
cup ramen and corn potage.
It's really funny because it ends up being more violent than a lot of the ones where people die in the beginning. It's he's just blinks and is in a new world. But
because the thing is in ones where the characters die in the beginning, that's the band-aid that you got to rip off. Subaru escapes that death at least. I mean, as far as we can tell, maybe this is just maybe this was just truncated for audience things. And he just he passed out at the corner, fell into the street, got his head crushed. Nope, I was gonna make a fucking JoJo joke, but no, never mind.
He got crushed, but he's in fucking.
He got his head crushed like he's Riko Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 0.
There you go.
But, so yeah, Subaru, blinks his eye a couple times, he's in another world, and there's a bunch of 3D furries walking around behind him, and one of the big bones that I have to pick with this show...
Oh no. Is this furry related?
It's just that like there are so many fucking furries in this opening scene.
Yeah,
and I'm not talking like just the cat ears and tail. Like they're like full blown.
There's like a hippopotamus man.
There's like
there's a hippo guy. There's like a bunch of lizard folk. Like, and the thing is that like there are none of those in the main story.
Really?
There are characters. Excluding, I mean, Puck is an exception, but like Puck is just kind of like a cat. He's not like a cat person.
And Ricardo later in season 1.
Yeah, that's true, Ricardo. God, when we get to the episodes featuring Ricardo, there's some fun stuff I get to talk about.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But so yeah, my bone to pick is just that there's not enough furries in this series that like shows us so many fucking like in these first episodes. I bet that if you did a tally of all the background characters that you saw, like I would bet 80% of them are furries in some way or another.
Yeah, they're even called like demi-humans.
I mean, I don't think they're called demi-humans. Subaru just says, "I will call them demi-humans."
Well, like he shows up at that bar, right? And they
say demi-humans only. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yep. That's what I was.
Which I don't know if that's in the original cut.
I didn't remember that. I did not remember that thing of him walking into like the woman's bar and then the demi-human bar and then falling into a river.
He walks into the women's room.
Yeah,
and they go, this is just like what the Guardian would told me would happen.
Oh my god. But so we get all those furries walking. We see all the furries walking around the background. Subaru's just like we get like the Kubrick lens on him briefly, and him just like looking back and forth, like huh, yeah. And then he shouts, "Have I been summoned into a parallel world?" And then the camera pans up and shows us the Kingdom of Lugnica, and then we get a title card. It's over in Insignia, and we get some lady, some creepy voice going, "Hey, hey, hey."
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Is that the beginning for all of them?
No. So the thing is that last season of Roy Draft League, in which I named all of my Pokemon after characters from this show,
yes.
Every battle I listened to the ReZero soundtrack from start to finish. And so I have to say, like, I listened to that soundtrack a fucking lot, and now it is weird to go back to this and be like, oh, okay, I know all this music, like beat for beat, bar for bar, but that, like, voice is in a lot of things. Like, there's, whenever a scary thing happens, at least in the first season, there's like, that voice will do like the...
Yeah, they do hit the... like, later in the episode, too.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. I don't know if that was in the original. The thing is that like it's been so long since I've seen the original run that like I do not have a side-by-side comparison here.
Yeah.
Maybe for science's sake, one of us should watch the original episodes like cut as they are.
I might do that.
We can do that production meeting off the air.
Yeah.
Niamh, did you wind up going through with it and watching the dub?
I did watch the dub.
Cut?
Yeah, because she was talking about how the coin was called something different in the
yeah.
Oh yeah, you did say that. How did it treat you?
Kind of inconsistently, but overall I would say kind of good. There's parts of it that feel like very like old school dub in like both a good and a bad way. But like
hell yeah.
The guy who does Subaru is like really putting his all into it, so I would recommend it for him. I'd have to look up who it is.
Sean Chiplock.
That name sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
Voice of voice of so many fucking things. Let's see. What he's like a video game guy a lot. He's the dub voice of Ishimaru and Danganronpa.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Noob Saibot in Mortal Kombat. Let's see. Kai Kisk in Guilty Gear Strive.
All right.
I think he's in Agretsuko, though I'm not sure who he is. He's just a somewhat prolific dub actor.
Yeah, well, he does really well in this, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. Rivali from Breath of the Wild.
Okay, there you go.
Sex Pistols and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Age. Okay, I've gone on long enough. So yeah, Subaru is just like After we get the title card with the sigil on it, we cut to a girl running across the rooftops with the sigil in her hand, or with something with the sigil emblazoned on it in her hand.
She's running across the covered wagons and stuff.
Yeah, she looks rude.
Yeah,
it's fun.
She looks rude. I like her. We find out who she is later, but I was like, oh, I like her.
If you think you like her now, wait until later.
Oh, she
She is not a major player in this season or the next season, if I'm being perfectly honest. But she has like an incredible moment about halfway through the series. About halfway through the season.
Well, I'm excited.
She picks up.
I like her because.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, like, I don't know if this is like too much spoilers or whatever, but why didn't Subaru react more to being in a new world? Is it just because he's a gamer? And he's like, I'm a gamer.
Yeah, I think it's sort of a convention of the genre.
Well, I mean, he did react by shouting, "Have I been summoned into a parallel world?"
Yeah, because that's a normal and natural thing for someone to say.
The thing about ReZero is that, like...
I think it's mostly just that he's a dumbass kid and he's looking for adventure.
Fair enough.
Yeah, those things, and also, like, I hate to use this term, but I think ReZero is actually a really good deconstruction of, like, the power fantasy that is at play in Isekai. And the thing is that it tricks you into thinking it's going to be a deconstruction in one way, which is that Subaru, like, knows about Isekai and is like, oh, I've seen this before.
I'm going to use my genre awareness to, I'm going to use my time spent on tvtropes.com to, navigate my way out of this situation.
Me too.
This troper has been summoned into a parallel world.
I just didn't want to show my hand, but I also spent a lot of time on there. But,
I did too, so...
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a deconstruction. But, like... Yeah.
It sets itself... It presents itself as a deconstruction in one way, and then really swerves, in my opinion, in the middle of the first season, and I think it does a really good job. But that's 6 episodes of podcast from now.
Yeah.
No.
So we'll get to that later. But so Subaru is just like walking down the street and like very largely unfazed. But like the thing is that like even if he was phased about this, like what the fuck is he gonna do?
Yeah.
Like
True. Yeah, true. I guess that's my thing. I think like I was thinking I was like, I would freak out and then people would yell at me.
Yeah, no one seems to react to him all that much. Yeah, but he's just like going through a list of like things he can assume about the world. He's like, okay, it looks like a medieval style world. Demi-humans seem regular. And things that make me laugh is that he says there's probably things like war and adventure. Like
yeah, like that's not a thing in real life. Like
there's no war in real life.
There's no fetch quest in real life.
It would be so fucked up if war was real.
There's no war in Ba Sing Se. Like, I don't...
There's no world. There's no war in Lugnica.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
Well, literally, we see Appa in this scene, so...
We do see Appa in this.
Oh, did I miss him?
No.
No. It's we'll get to we'll get to it. So we the Subaru's making his little mental list, but then he hears a shout from the street, and there's a kid about to get plastered by a runaway cart.
And they're about to get isekai'd into their own thing.
Yeah, this kid's about to get sent back to Subaru's world.
This kid is about to live out Yu Yu Hakusho. But just in a fantasy setting.
That's what I was thinking of with the car, like, earlier. I was, like, trying to think... I was like, oh, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Yu Yu Hakusho is not the first, nor will it be the last one to have their protagonist killed by a car.
No,
like,
and it won't... Like, yeah, I was just like, that's what I know.
Truck-kun is a well-established friend of mine.
Yeah.
Ah, man. Truck-kun. That's just...
But so, yeah... Subaru sees the kid about to get turned into a fine paste and is like, "Oh, this must be where my magic powers activate. I must have been brought here for a reason." Ha! He does like a fucking like
he does the awaken conveniently my magic powers thing from FMA.
Yeah. And nothing happens, and then a knight like grabs the kid and like does a tuck and roll and saves him, and everyone's like, "Yay, the knight!"
Man, Ishimaru's voice is really good for stuff like that. And now I'm thinking about like the English dub person would be very good at that. Yeah. Just like yelling and being like, ah!
God, I kind of want to just like I kind of want. I don't want to watch the dub, but I want to find like a compilation of the dub of Subaru's voices, of Subaru's good lines in the dub.
Yeah.
I'm sure that exists. There's one of those for the Haikyuu dub, and that dub is not good.
I was discussing that with Kay the other day.
Yeah, I saw that. That made me think about it. Like, I watched that dub, and there are some actors who are like doing a decent job in it. Like, but there are some that's just like, what is this voice? What is these deliveries? What is happening?
I can't
here?
get past the fact that they pronounce Dateko as Dateko. Iron Wall of Date.
Date bio.
Ike, date co.
Go, let's go, date co.
And I think this is, Subaru is, like, obsessed with the idea of doing magic. Like, he is certain that is what he's been put into this world to do. But he can't do any.
No.
No.
He goes to like the market street and like goes up to a guy who's selling fruits, and he's not selling apples, he's selling appas.
Oh, okay. I understand.
And Subaru like makes some more observations, like, well, this guy can understand what I'm saying.
We sell Wheaties old-fashioned Hergesburgers.
He's selling Smubby Efree.
Whoppy machine broke.
Selling shitty pissies. Pissy shitties, I'm sorry. No, in that world it is shitty pissies.
Shitty
Yeah, you're right.
pissies.
Yep. It'd be the opposite.
That's what they call them in the UK.
Well, I said they're selling shitty pissies at the Appa stand, but I can understand how you heard opposite from that.
I did think you said opposite. I was like, oh yeah, they say it opposite wise.
Free sloppy at the Appa stand. Oh, God.
You found my daughter. I'll give you a free sloppy.
So yeah, the Appa stand guy is like, hey, your money. What the fuck is that money? I'm gonna kill you. Give me $200. Get out of here. And Subaru like wanders around town trying to figure out where he's supposed to go. And he, like we said earlier, he walks into the women's restroom. He walks into a demi-human bar, and then he falls into a river. And he's not doing good.
Yeah,
He's not
having a
doing
great time.
well. My dude is just like so lost. But God, then he gets mugged.
He does get mugged.
Yeah. Well, he's like recovering in the alleyway from accused of BO's wet.
Yeah.
I
don't know
and
if
he's
I don't know if this is in the sub, but in the dub he says, "Where's my main character set up in status bar?"
He does say something like that. He says something
he says
like...
he says I don't even have Excalibur. This fucking sucks.
Yeah. He's like, wow, my starting equipment fucking blows.
I don't even know if I'm a tank or if I'm DPS. What?
That's pretty good.
Don't tell me I'm the healer.
I'm no heel slut.
Oh no! That's my new fucking light novel title. I'm no heel slut.
We go to like a wide shot of the alley that he's in, and just like we see the girl from earlier who was running on the rooftop, just like jumping around out there.
Oh yeah, he looks at his phone and his 4 contacts are in order: City Hall, Dad, Mom, Pizza. Why is he calling City Hall? Is he friends with the mayor?
He's calling City Hall because his internet's broken and he doesn't know who else to call.
He's calling City Hall because his pizza is late, and his pizza. He's calling City Hall because the pizzeria was 31 minutes late, and they say if it's not there in 30 minutes, it's free. But they said no, it's been 30 minutes, and he was trying to be a rat about it.
One thing you gotta know about me, I gotta have the local government on speed dial.
Like just one step above like calling the cops, just like calling the government about it. That level of snitchery.
But they're less likely to do something. Well, none of them are going to do anything, but you know what I mean.
Right. So the three alley punks show up. One guy who looks like he's got an acorn for a head, an emo boy, and a big tough guy.
Emo boy looking kind of nice with it, I gotta say.
Emo boy has a long ass tongue. That's all.
He's got that Gene Simmons tongue.
He does. There's a lot of tongue shit in this episode.
Yeah, a lot of tongues.
Yeah, it kinda is. What the fuck? What is wrong with this show? Anyway,
So yeah, the Subaru gets confronted in the alley by three guys who are like, "Hey, give us all your fucking money, idiot!" And he's like, "Oh, this sucks." So what happens is, Felt like runs down the alley, and Felt, the girl who, her name is Felt, the girl who was running on the rooftops earlier. She runs down the alley, and Subaru's like, "Is this the beautiful girl who was going to say who summoned me to this world?" And she like slows down to a trot and then stops completely, and he's like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude." Bye, and then she fucking parkours up the walls.
Yeah, she mentioned. Is that where she mentioned stealing the insignia?
I think she mentioned. I think she said something offhand about it. These episodes are so fucking dense. It's honestly a bit difficult to keep track of everything that happens in the notes because very few things happen that are not noteworthy.
Yeah.
The way I take my notes, at least. Not noteworthy in, the sense of, the common, the regular definition of the word, but, noteworthy in terms of, I would write a note about this.
Yeah. And, eventually, Subaru is that didn't make you want to, beat me up less, right? And they're like, no. And then they,
Yeah, he's like, did that soften your mood? And, one of the guys says, actually, it made us more mad. And there's just a line that I really like.
Yeah, it's really good.
But then Subaru, really bucks the expectations of both these guys and the audience by kicking the shit out of two of them.
Yeah.
He kicks the acorn head. He knocks the big... He punches the acorn head. He kicks the big guy enough to knock him over. And then he's, about to go in for the kill on Emo Boy. Or not for the kill, but, for the knockout punch. And he's, running at the guy, and Emo Boy produces two knives. And, Subaru, skids into a cow tower. And please don't stab me. Don't stab me. Don't stab me. Don't stab me. Please don't stab me. Please don't stab me.
That delivery is really good in the dub, I gotta say.
I'm sure. I bet it is. And they just beat the shit out of him for 15 uninterrupted seconds.
They're beating his ass in the QRTs.
They're beating his ass in the QRTs.
He's, kind of saved.
Yeah, he's saved by Amelia, or Satella, who walks through.
I was gonna say that's not her name. What?
No, it's not.
Except
that's a different
if it
character.
is.
No, I just messed up.
I'm very suspicious. Especially because you didn't name a character Satella in your Pokemon League.
You know what? You fucking got my ass, Morg. I was going to try and talk around it, but the very first time I had to say her name, I called her Amelia. And I fucked it up.
Yeah, it's because she's played by Amelia Clark.
A mysterious white-haired girl that we don't know the name of.
Amelia Clark's specialty.
She's Khaleesi.
Her name is Khaleesi.
Her name is Khaleesi. So Khaleesi just, appears with her cat because...
Yeah. Khaleesi, runs in the alley and is, chasing after Felt and is which way did she go? And the three thieves, the three other thieves, they're like, I'm not gonna fucking sell it to a thief. And Subaru is like, I'll help. And then, Amelia, and then, Khaleesi is just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna keep going and keep running. And then she starts to go run past them, but then turns around and is like, but I cannot let this injustice stand, and blasts the three guys with an ice
she uses ice shard.
She uses ice shard 3 separate times on one turn.
Yeah. I guess that would make it more like icicle spear. Yeah.
Yeah. She does use icicle spear.
She got that skill link.
And then they're like, well, she only knocks out one of the guys with this, and then one of the guys is like, oh, it's a 2-on-1 fight. That's not fair. And then she's like, but I'll make it 2-on-2. And a kitty shows up.
And a small little boy shows up.
Yeah.
He's
Puck's voice sucks in the dub.
Hand-sized.
He's so little.
He's baby.
Just a little guy.
He's simply a little guy.
The smallest cat you've ever seen. And... what the fuck does he do? I feel like they don't even really do anything.
He runs up and he says, hey, I'm a little birthday boy.
Yeah, I think that the other two guys are like, oh fuck, that's a spirit. Oh, we gotta get out of here. And they beat Cheeks out of the alley. They pick up Acorn Head and just run.
Yeah. I like that she just decided to help him because, like, she was going to go run after that girl, but then she was like, oh, this dude kind of needs help. I should probably
Yeah,
stop him.
this guy does not seem capable of fending these men off in any capacity.
This dude's a fucking loser. I'm going to help him.
Yeah.
She obviously has a soft spot for losers.
She knows he's a gamer.
That's what she's doing later when she looks at his fingers. She's like, oh, these are gamer fingers.
You have a mechanical keyboard, don't you? You got LEDs on your rig, huh?
Keyboard head Khaleesi.
That's what she loves. That's what's famous about her.
She loves keyboards.
Yeah.
She loves keyboards.
That's why she's got a cat. That's the keyboard cat.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Wow, the
Oh
keyboard
my
cat,
God.
my hero.
Oh, fuck you. Oh my god. So she's like, hey, did you help? I think you helped steal that sigil. You seem really suspicious. And Subaru's like, I can help. And then he falls over and passes out.
And he wakes
Yeah.
up, and he's on some
yeah.
legs.
As he's falling asleep, Satella and Puck are arguing about whether or not they'll help him. And then Subaru wakes up on Big Puck's lap.
Bigger
and,
Puck.
the bigger Puck. So, just again to reiterate, Puck is a very small little kitty cat, like Morg says, hand-sized. But
Yeah.
then Subaru wakes up and is like, "Oh, I cannot believe a girl's legs could be this fluffy." And he's like, "Wait, that's not right." And then he jolts, and then he like turns around, and Puck is just sitting there looking like a fucking like a theme park mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subaru has his furry panic moment.
Yeah. No, I've been too mean to furries on 8chan for this to be a thing for me.
Well, he's in Japan, right? It'd be 2chan.
Oh yeah, it would be 2chan, right.
I don't want to think about this boy on 8chan.
Yeah, not 8chan. I'm sorry. I did math in the wrong direction. I did the wrong power of twos.
He's just like, wow, this girl, like, before he passes out, he's like, wow, this girl's cute even when she's mad. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
They're trying to play her up kind of as a, like, Sindiri or whatever. But,
Yeah.
like, not exactly. That's my theory. That's my game theory.
Yeah, I can accept that game theory, but so yeah, Subaru wakes up on Bigger Puck's lap, and Subaru's like, "Don't fucking do that again." That was weird.
I'm not a furry.
So, Satella and Puck quiz him on, like, what he knows about the person who stole her shit. And because the insignia was hers, and then he's like, I don't know her, but I did see her. I can, like, come with you and help you because I could recognize her, I guess.
I can do a chibi drawing of her.
Oh yeah, that is kind of what it looks like later.
Yeah, because they're walking on the streets looking for her, and Subaru has done like a little doodle of her. And one of my favorite things, this does not happen very often, but it's one of my favorite things when it does, which is when the protagonist has to draw something of like do a fucking a police sketch of someone that they saw. This happens in Full Metal Alchemist at one point when Ed tries to draw Envy. It just looks very funny to me.
Love that.
I also love in Full Metal Alchemist when Armstrong draws Marco, and it's just like a perfect like fucking LA Noir at perfect Cole Phelps sketch.
Yeah.
But anyways,
So I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but I kept having to pause the show when Subaru was saying embarrassing shit. And like some of the points where he was, like, I look at my notes remembering like some of the points when he's like, did this pretty lady summon me? I had to like pause and be like, dude, you're not a protagonist. I mean, you are, but you aren't, you know?
he's got protagonist syndrome.
He does.
Listen, not to reveal too much of this where this anime goes, but I will say that Subaru's protagonist syndrome is something of a theme.
Yeah, I figured. I
It
mean,
is something. It is part of his character development, you might say.
Yes,
That makes
very
sense,
much so.
Yeah.
So they look around for Puck, or I keep saying Puck. They look around for Felt, but there's no. They don't really have much luck with it. So they wind up on like a balcony somewhere, just like talking to each other. And they're at one point they're like, "Oh yeah, this is the Kingdom of Lugnica," and Subaru's like, "I don't fucking know what that is."
Lugnica these nuts.
Yeah, that's the national motto.
Satella is like, so where do you from? And Subaru is like, well, I mean, given what I know about the genre, I'm probably there's probably some like island nation to the east of here that I could claim to be from. And Satella's just like, no, this is the easternmost nation that we're aware of, at least.
Yeah.
And Subaru's like, oh fuck,
I'm in Discworld.
He introduces himself as a hikikomori, and Satella's like, I don't know what that is.
It's like, I'm a shut-in.
I don't know what that is, but you do have very soft hands, and you did not gain these muscles from plowing the land. You did not gain these muscles.
You have beautiful hands.
You have beautiful hands, and you did not get these gains by laboring.
And she's right. He's a gamer. But
Yeah.
He's just a gamer who does push. He's just a gamer who does radio calisthenics.
Yeah, he's got that shake weight.
He's got the shake weight. Subaru posted up in his room with the shake weight 1 hour edition.
God, is this when she says her name is Satella?
Yeah. She's like, and my name is Satella.
And
Puck reacts really strange. Puck reacts really interestingly to that.
Yeah.
right, like that's kind of why I was like, I know that's not like, I mean, that's not what's happening, but it's like, oh, maybe it's her last name. That's what I had suspected. Like, oh.
But then she also says no last name.
Yeah. She thinks long and hard about saying Satella too. She must have trouble remembering her name.
Yeah, she looks into the wind. She like stares into the wind, like she does the Khaleesi gazing into the middle distance, and like lets the wind hit her for a minute, and then is like, my name is
not a queen, a Khaleesi.
Satella. And Subaru is like, cool.
Cool. And
Sick
Puck
name,
is his
dude.
real name. Puck's just like, I'm Puck.
I'm Puck.
I'm Puck. I'm just a little guy. And they find like a lost kid, and Subaru's like, well, this won't fucking help us find Felt, and Satella's like, no, we're gonna help this kid. We can't leave this kid alone. Satella tries to help the kid, and the girl just starts crying harder.
The girl is being racist at her.
She's half elf, to be fair. Like,
Yes. As long as you're applying it to the right person, racism is okay.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fuck you.
I'm sorry, Morg.
Fuck you.
Oh god.
I just don't know if we actually explained that. And then I was thinking of, like, fantasy racism and how elves are always treated very strangely.
Fantasy racists, where all your dreams come true. Got a deal for you.
What the fuck? And now I'm thinking too much about, like, fantasy racism, and now I can't continue because I need to.
Well, she says to him, like, half elves are not very well respected in this world.
Yes. That's before they run into the little girl.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, I'm trying to think of, like, where, if at all, this show goes with its, like, with any, like, such racial politics.
Probably
like,
nowhere.
I don't think it, like, does too much about that. Yeah, no, I don't think it does, thankfully. It doesn't Zootopia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the little girl starts crying, but then Subaru comes over and is like, hey, little girl, check this out. This is a ridged 10 yen coin. I look at it. Oh, it's disappeared from my hand. But what's this? It's behind your ear this whole time. And the girl is just like, yay! And it's like there's a running through line of this show of Subaru just being like good with kids. And I don't know why, but I don't know why he is like that. Like, he does not seem the type to be good with kids, especially given that he is a shut-in, but it's one of my favorite things about him.
that's
Yeah.
nice. I'm glad this shows up again. I was gonna say, I was like, oh, I like that he could do funny shit. I mean,
Yeah, later on there's like a village that's like attached to somewhere that they go, and like there's like a couple of scenes in an arc where he just like spends some time like entertaining the children there and like just having a good time with them.
oh, that's very nice.
It's really sweet. I like it a lot.
I mean, it's good.
He's a nice guy in all senses of the word.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's
God,
a little
yeah.
bit of a nice guy with a capital N.
Yeah.
Sometimes. He's just awkward. It's fine. He's just a teenager. It's fine.
Subaru and Satella both take one of the kids' arms and like start walking her back to her parents. Like trying to find her parents, and Subaru's like, "Wow, we must look like a mommy and a daddy with a kid right now." And Satella's like, "You look like her older brother. Fuck you."
I had to pause then. I was like,
The way that he just shuts her down, the way that she just shuts him down is very funny.
that did help. I was like, good. I'm glad she's just like, no.
Yeah, I appreciate the amount of times that no one yes and Subaru, and just like I appreciate the extent that he gets like A, shut down, and B, like is like it's like oh I got shut down, and is not like push further about it.
Yeah.
I was worried she was gonna just like blush and be like, no, but no, she's like,
Yeah.
no.
That's stupid.
It really dresses that scene up to look like that's where it's going for a brief moment, because there's sparkles, and it's like a cute like picture of them holding the kid together, and then it cuts in front of them, and Satella's just like, you look like you're her older brother, and he's like, I'm not that much younger than you.
She does Velma voice. You stop that.
I think that's
does.
part of the reason she addresses the fact that she's like half elf is because she's like probably quite a bit older than him. That was the implication anyway.
Interesting take. No comment.
Actually, I had to Google something now in response to that.
Oh, to me anyway. Okay, well, that's how I took it. So now I'm concerned, but whatever, it's fine. Now I'm extra concerned because Sarah's laughing at me or something.
I'm not sure what she's laughing at.
Just experiencing. Okay, sure. Okay, never mind. There was a ReZero.fandom.com, like the first thing I came up when I searched how old is Satella ReZero, and it said on the wiki page, it had stated that Satella's age is 114/115 years old, and I was like, okay, but I think that's just like them scraping a bad like detail. Like I think that's just like them scraping a bad thing.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I was gonna say
the Google
what?
results being scraped wrong.
People are just making up shit. They're just lying on the internet.
Yeah.
Who would do such a thing?
Sad but
Right.
true.
So they reunite the kid with her mom, and the kid gives Satella a nice little... No, that's not till later that she gets the little rose brooch.
Yeah.
They reunite with the kid with her mom, and they're like just chilling on a bridge later, and Subaru is like, well, that was a waste of time, but I'm sure you'll say you got something out of it. And Satella is like, yes, I have a clear conscience now that we did not abandon that child in need. And I just think I think the patter between them is very fun.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I keep bringing it up, but this is actually when the whole like I'm half elf thing comes.
Yeah,
up.
this is when the half elf thing comes. When Subaru is like, Satella is like, why did you help that girl? You thought helping her was not gonna I thought you thought that was a bad idea. And he was like, well, I mean, like, I gotta do my good deed for the day, like I said. And then she's like, well, you've done your good deed for the day. Do you still need to help me then? And he's like, well, that comeback makes too much sense. I'm doing a week's worth of good deeds today. Because we didn't mention this earlier, but like when he like insists that he help Satella, he's like, I want to do one good deed a day, and this will be my good deed for the day.
Yeah.
And this is when Satella says, you're the kind of guy that wastes their whole life, huh?
Yep.
And he's like, oh,
Red for filth.
yeah, you got me.
I'm like, damn, I got owned.
Yeah, he got. And then Satella's like, I'm a half elf. Don't you care? And Subaru's like, no.
Am I supposed to?
Am I supposed to give a shit?
Please
Like,
tell me how racist I'm supposed to be.
please help me. It's like when you have to calibrate the audio video when you're playing Guitar Hero on a component cable.
Turning a knob that says racism and looking back at Satella like a contestant on The Price is Right.
But Satella gets really blushy about this fact, and then this provokes Puck to come out of wherever he was hiding and punch Subaru. And it's like this punch is nothing. This is, like if a little plush toy came to life and punched you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, cute, though. I was like, oh, I love Puck.
Yeah, no, it's really cute. Like, Puck flying up and then, doing the little bap onto Subaru's face is very cute.
Yeah. I'll say again that Puck's voice is just not very good in the dub. That's one of the low points, I would say. For
the dub?
Yeah, they give him, like a 90s shonen protagonist voice, like, I'm Puck, and I'm a child. It's just not what he says, but, that's the voice that they're doing for him, and it's... Yeah, it's one of the low points, I would say.
And I'm a child. I'm just a little boy. I'm just a little birthday boy.
I'm just a little birthday boy. Pikachu.
Subaru, I'm just a little birthday boy.
I'm just a little guy.
Subaru, that explains everything.
That explains everything.
That explains everything.
Remember when Subaru said, he, all the better to date me than Girl Chen?
Fuck off.
He did say that to Amelia 5 or 6 times over the course of this episode.
That.
Fucking said her name wrong again. I was like, damn, you said her name wrong. You fucking...
Yeah, listen, I'm working on it, okay?
Can't be doing this.
It's just going to be a first episode thing. They give up the ghost on that pretty quick.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I kind of knew because the end of the episode, she's like, how fucking dare you, you fucking asshole.
Right. I'm excited to discuss more in depth. So I guess we can. I fucked this up enough that I don't want to have to edit around it. So Satella's name is not actually Satella. We'll find out in the first minute of the next episode.
Satellavision.
Television.
What's that?
Television.
Television. Okay. Her name is. And I will continue to call her Satella for the rest of this episode, and I will do my best to back edit. But I would like to say that what Satella is doing here by saying my name is Satella to Subaru is okay. So imagine if you were a dead ringer from Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
And someone came up to you and was like, "Hey, you seem cool. Can I help you out?" And you're like, and he's like, "What's your name?" And you say, "Oh, my name? It's Marjorie Taylor Greene." And he says, "I don't know who that is." Cool. That's your name.
Oh god.
Your name is JFK Jr.? Okay.
Oh my god.
Subaru about to fucking blow this whole conspiracy open.
Your name is Let's Go Brandon.
No.
Yeah, Puck comes out, punches Subaru, and then Subaru's like, "Well, we should return to the scene of the crime where your sigil got stolen." And then it turns out that the scene of the crime was the Appa stand that Subaru was at earlier. Mm-hmm. And the Appa man is like, "You don't have any fucking money, kid. Why are you back at my stand?" And Subaru's like, but I brought a potentially lifelong, well-paying customer. And then Satella's like, I don't have any money either, dude. I'm sorry.
It's like, bitch, you look rich. What the fuck? It's like, no, she just looks like that. That's just her dress. She just looks cool. I don't know.
She just likes to dress up nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she has money.
Just because she has an iPhone doesn't mean she's rich.
she be on that phone.
She does.
God, it's so funny that his phone comes up later. Anyway, so this dude is mad at first and tells him to leave, but then the mom and the girl from earlier show up at the stand, and Subaru and Satella are like, do you know him? And yeah, that's her dad, actually. That's the little girl's dad.
They have the same hair.
They got the same hair.
They do have the same hair.
I did not clock that because everyone has weird hair. I don't know.
A thing about this show is that parents and children love to have the same hair.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is a big plot point in season 2.
I'll keep that in mind. So he's willing to help them because the two of them helped his daughter.
Yeah. The little girl walks up, says hi to her daddy, and is like, "Oh, these two people helped me earlier. I was lost." And the Appa man was like begrudging, "Hey, I'm sorry, I was a dick earlier." And since God, this is so fucking cute. Satella gets all smug and is like, "I told you that would work. I told you that would pay off." To Subaru.
That's what made me think she has a little bit of protagonist syndrome, maybe. But
I think it's just her. I think she can be a little less smug.
She could be smug as a treat. But yeah, so they actually get told where to go next because he showed.
Go to the slums.
They go to the slums of town. They're. I feel weird about this just because I'm they look very uncomfortable being in the slums of town. I'm wow.
Yeah.
But
the show's got class politics in it.
Does it? Does it? Does it? It does here, but
does it?
Does it later?
It does right here.
Okay.
The show does have class politics in it. Evidence 1. This scene. Evidence 2.
Question mark?
We're getting there. Season 3 is promising very many class-related things, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'll believe it when I see it. So, they come across, some random guy. No, wait. They have to do the spirit thing first. I forgot about this.
Yeah. They have the, this is Puck says, I'm a spirit, I'm fading, my hours are basically 9, I basically work a day job, I'm 9 to 5, I get a 30-minute lunch break when I can't be summoned, it's in my contract, I'm unionized.
I'm on cooldown.
He's on cooldown.
I love that Subaru even said, he's just oh, you're a civil servant, what the fuck?
Yeah. But Puck is just neepy, and then he goes back into the gem, which Satella affixes to her chest. I got just she puts it on the neck. She puts it on a necklace.
She puts it on her belt with the other Pokeballs.
Yeah, exactly. God, what if there were 6 Pucks though?
That'd be sick.
You say that, but then that makes my mind immediately go Sex Pistols.
6 Pucks.
Yeah.
6 Pistols. Nope.
6.
That was gross.
Sex
was not the word I was
Pustols.
looking for. I'm very sorry.
6 Pistols.
Sorry.
6 pustules.
Ew.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is when Satella says, well, let me ask the lesser spirits where she might be. And she stands on a bridge and closes her eyes and there's all these little lights that light up. They look kind of I'm trying to think of a way to describe. You remember the Super Bowl show when Lady Gaga had a drone army behind her?
No.
No, I don't think I do actually.
Okay, I guess it's just me. Fucking whatever. I feel like that was the Falcons. I'm pretty sure that was the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl, but I can't say for sure.
I had my mind on other things at that point, I think.
I know you didn't, Morg, but I know Niamh remembers that game of football very clearly.
I was probably drinking my sorrows away because the Patriots were down 21-3. It's they could never come back from this.
You counted out Touchdown Tom.
I was counting out Touchdown Tom as the thing.
You counted out A, Touchdown Tom, and B, the dog shit overtime rules coming into play in the Super Bowl.
I think it was perfectly fair,
We cannot get into this right now, but I am seething with anger.
Listen, you may not agree with everything in every choice he's made in his personal life, but Touchdown Thomas Brady, You got to hand it to him on some counts.
I do not. I refuse to hand it to
We gotta move on! We're taking so long! We can't be talking about sports.
Okay.
Yes, we can't. Listen, I'm sorry to inform you, Morg. We will be doing jock talk on this podcast.
Okay, but not right now. We're like... Come on.
Starting score from 0. Anyway.
So
I can't believe I'm surrounded by
Satella
jocks.
communes with the lesser spirits, and they just light up, I guess, like, just really bright fireflies.
Yeah.
I guess is the more regular person's description, and not the like insane Super Bowl pull. But I digress.
Yeah, fireflies makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I just think the scene is pretty.
It
It is
pretty.
nice.
I think it's nice.
I think it's nice when she's surrounded by spirits too.
Yeah. She talks to them, and we get a little bit of lore about spirits, but it's not important.
Yeah.
And they figure it out. It fades to black, and that's the end of the episode. That's the end of the first episode. That's what the end of 1A would be. So we are halfway through this episode.
Oh god, this is why I didn't want to dwell on sports talk. 'Cause we're so long.
Listen, this is gonna be a long one. We're going fucking deep on
We're
this.
doing
shit.
a deep dive. We're reading between the lines. We're doing a close read. We're doing cross-referencing.
Yeah, definitely. That's why
This
talking
is-
about getting sloppy at the Appa store
This is a ReZero
definitely gonna
podcast
fucking-
for academics.
It's
They're
definitely
going to
for
teach this in
academics.
schools.
Listen, Morg, I know you don't agree with it, but I do have a PhD in getting sloppy at the Appa store. I get
Click-
Clickbait
you
video
hear about
title,
the
I got
shit?
sucked off at the Apple Store.
I get such good brain. I get such good brain because I go to the Genius counter.
Oh,
Sorry. For myself.
you're dying.
Jesus Christ.
She made herself fucking die. We gotta get to the horror movie shit, please.
We're getting. Sorry, my own stupid joke. Whew. So yeah, they go deeper into the slums, and it looks like shit out here. Like I mean, it is the slums, but like even by those metrics, like when we first entered the place that they're in currently looks worse than the place that they entered when they went into the slums.
And now there's like no one around. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. They walk into a guy, and Subaru's like, "Yo, bro, where can we find? Do you happen to know what this girl who this girl is? Where can we find her?" And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, check out Old Man Rom's house. You're gonna have to bargain for it though." And they go to the house, and by this time, night has fallen, and this place looks fucking like exceptionally cursed.
That's fine.
And Subaru says, "You stay here. I'll go back and I'll go in and negotiate." And
Yeah.
they have like just a cute back and forth dialogue between them, which I really like.
Yeah.
And it ends with Satella saying, "I'll try believing in you." And she hits him with the most meaningful ganbate of his life.
It's a little corny, but I like it. Like,
It's sweet. It's corny. It is both corny and sweet.
it's laying it on a little thick, but that's okay because she won't remember any of this.
Yeah, it's
Spoilers.
fine. You may notice something here, which is that when Subaru says, "Okay, don't come in until don't just wait for me, Satella," and like she doesn't respond, and he's like, "Satella," and she's like, "What? Yeah. Good. Sounds good. Thumbs up. Get going."
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's very easy to miss if you don't. Like, if you went and rewatched this episode after the way that this episode ends, you would probably catch it. But going through your first time, I don't know. I figure someone out there could piece it together, but I would not have been
Oh
able
my
to.
God.
I was not able to.
Yeah, no, I would not have.
Subaru walks into Old Man Rom's house, and he says, "Am I walking to a demon's nest or a snake pit? Is this shit all stolen?" He says as he waves his lantern around and like illuminates the room like a flashlight in a horror game. Subaru steps into some blood, and he like he pans the lantern up, and there was like a dead ass man there with like his mouth is like completely shredded.
Dead guy derogatory.
Yeah, his like arms cut off, which is interesting.
He's having a bad time.
I did not realize that we see this guy die again later in this episode, and he dies in the exact same way. Like he gets a face full of a glass bottle and like his arm cut off in ways that like are consistent with the way that he died here, which I think is just a cool detail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Subaru gets fucking schlorshed right across the tummy by someone who sneaks up on him.
He gets
and
got.
He's like, "Oh, okay, I can fight this." And then he looks down and realizes that his guts are spilling out and he's dying.
Sad.
And at this point, Satella walks into Old Man's Rom house like, "Subaru, is everything okay?" And he's like, "Don't come in here." And then she gets cut down also, and they bleed out and die together.
And the show is over.
And then Subaru wakes up at the Appa stand again.
The two of them dying together is like what we see in the beginning. All the cuts.
Yeah. That is the shots that are interspersed in the very beginning.
Yeah, he just wakes up in a new save. He had a save point and he woke up. Like, that's extremely how it feels. That, like, he fucking died in a video game and he, like, came back to his last save point and he's, like, fine, but he remembers everything. So he's not fine. He's very much
he wakes up like
not fine.
Yeah, he like wakes up at the Appa stand and is like, wait, it's daytime? I don't have a tummy wound anymore. This is weird. And
Appa guy isn't offering to give me sloppy anymore.
Yeah, the Appa man is again offering to give me this. He's offering again to give me genius bar level sloppy.
But only if he has money, and he doesn't, and he runs away.
And Subaru does not have the genius bar sloppy money.
He's the meme where he's like going to the Apple store, and he comes back and it's like everything was expensive.
The sloppy was expensive.
What did the sloppy cost? Everything.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
And so yeah, God, he wanders into the alleyway again and gets confronted by the alley toughs again, and he's like, "Oh fuck, again? Are you guys seeking revenge or something?" And the guys are like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." Like, for someone who is as versed in media as he claims to be, like I feel like you cannot throw a stone at like isekais without like landing on something with like. I'm not saying that there's a lot of isekais out there with like death loops, but like adjacent media to a lot of isekai, like I feel like a death loop is like a common enough thing.
This dude did not read fucking.
He didn't see Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
He didn't see Groundhog Day.
He didn't read Homestuck. He didn't read.
No.
He didn't read Homestuck. He didn't read. Well, I'm not going to say that one because that's actually a bit of a spoiler.
Oh.
The piece of media whose existence is a spoiler.
No, like saying that the piece of media has
I
a
know what
time
you're
loop
talking
is
about.
itself,
Yeah, it's because
is a bit of a spoiler.
It's because I'm reading. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Unfortunately.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now. Actually.
Yeah, you both do. So the alley toughs are like, you should bark like a dog.
You should do puppy play.
And Subaru says, no, I'm just gonna fucking hit you with the mix. And he takes out the guy with the knives first.
Pretty smart.
Which is,
Yeah.
like, he takes out the guy who has the knives. He like kicks the shit out of the acorn head, and he strolls with the big guy for a minute before kneeing him in the balls and says, "Don't underestimate a guy with too much free time."
He does the arm twisty thing with the racist name.
Oh yeah.
He does. And we just hard cut to Old Man Rom's loot house, and he like knocks on the door, and like Rom fucking stomping out the store Gucci bracelet. But he lets Subaru in,
And he's fine.
He complaining about the password.
Yeah, this is the guy that Subaru saw dead before he died. This is like the man whose corpse Subaru saw, and this guy's like, "Well, you seem harmless. You can come on in." And they go inside, they hang out, they have a little bit of a conversation, and Subaru's like, "So this is a weird question, but have you died recently? And he's like, no.
He like laughs his ass off.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the dub, Rom sounds kind of like an old blues musician.
I like that.
It is kind of a fun choice. Like, he sounds like Jet from, like, Cowboy Bebop, but a little more Muppety.
Okay. I like that.
I think it's a good choice for the character.
Yeah. But yeah, they just have a bit of conversation about things, and Subaru's like, I'm broke, but I can offer you corn potage and salad phone.
I can offer you my damn phone.
Yeah, and he eats all of Subaru's corn potage and is like, oh, these are great snack, would be great with beer.
Yeah.
It's really funny because like Old Man Rom is like a giant, like there was a race of people of giants in this universe, and Rom is one of them. So like he's just like palming this family-sized bag of Lay's potato chips.
He's hungry.
We have all fucking fisted the fucking...
Could you use a different word?
I know, I realized what I said. And I like already was out, and it was... I meant fistfuls of potato chips.
I have shoveled many fistfuls of chips into my mouth. I have fisted my mouth with chips countless times.
I'm always doing this.
But yeah, Rom eats all of his corn potage and calls him a bitch and says you gotta wait for Felt. But then Felt shows up.
Yeah.
The thing I was talking about at the start of the episode of like a future reference is that later on in this series we'll find out about something called the White Whale. And like one of the things that it wasn't. So the original run of the series is the one that I watched the original run, and I'm watching the director's cut this time. And in the original run, it like says like one of the things that there's like a back and forth between Rom and Felt for the password to Old Man Rom's loot house, and one of the things Rom says for the White Whale, and which is just. I think it's fun. Like they just mentioned that. Like it's a thing that comes up like 15 episodes from now, and I think it's just cool that they. I don't know.
It's foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
So, Felt drinks her big milk and accuses Rom of watering down the milk. She doesn't like the taste. And Subaru's like, well, for that insignia, I'm going to offer you this Metia, M-E-T-I-A, which is his cell phone. And he says this has the power to make time stop for everyone. And he like takes a photograph of that. He takes a cell phone photograph of them, and they're freaked out about like, are you trying to fucking kill me? And then Subaru just shows them the picture.
It's such a funny picture too. Like they're just staring at it like blankly with like the flash going off in their face.
Yeah, like Felt has got like the thing that happens like sometimes when you photograph your dog's eyes.
Yeah.
Or my eyes before, like, cameras got good.
Yeah, honestly. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I just remember, like, all of our yearbook photos, like, they did... Well, the yearbook photos weren't bad, but, like, anything that was not, like, done by a professional, like, that fucking like little cruise thing that we went on for like remember when we went on that little cruise thing in 8th grade?
Not really.
I only remember because I like had the photo that they took of us, like our group of friends, as we were getting on the boat that we rode for like 3 hours.
This show's just gonna be like me having to remember things from like my past.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just like
fun podcasting fact. I have known Morg for longer than half of my life. I have known of Morg because we've known each other since we were like 10 or 11.
Yeah, like 11. Yeah.
Yeah. Since we were just wee babies.
Yeah. All those years ago, you saw Morg and you just knew you were going to do an anime podcast with them.
Yeah, I didn't even know what a podcast was, but I felt it in my bones.
Yeah, they hadn't invented podcasts yet.
Yeah. Adam Conover hadn't done, or not Adam Conover. What's the other Adam Adam Conover is the one that I mean.
Okay.
Right? Who's the Adam from Adam Ruins Everything?
Adam Conover.
Okay, that's not the one that I mean. It's an Adam like sucks shit now. He's like a
Adam
huge
Carolla.
reactionary. Corolla, thank you. Yes.
But I can't believe my favorite model of Toyota would do this to me.
So Rom and Felt argue about the Metia, and
It's Metia.
they're like wowed by they say it's Metia, it's Betty Metia. And they're wowed by the camera phone, and Rom is like, yeah, this thing is worth way more than the insignia, and Subaru's like, great, insignia for Metia, done. But then Rama's like, no, we gotta wait for this other buyer. Or Felt says that we gotta wait for the potential buyer who I had in mind when I was told to fucking yeah, who commissioned this devious lick.
Damn, she did do a devious lick.
And Felt is like, I've been told that this thing is worth 10 holy coins. And like, there's just like a short scene of like Felt and Rom being friends, which I just think is really cute. Like, I think they're just fun. They're just very fun characters to watch interact.
Yeah, I like that they've been friends for a while. It seems.
Yeah,
like...
they have been friends. It's kind of like those fish that like cling onto sharks so that they don't get eaten.
Yeah, like a remora.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Remora. Yeah. I'm saying the Pokemon name. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. That has happened to me before.
But into this room walks a bitch with her titties all the way out.
Damn, she do be having her tits all the way out.
Can I say? Good for her.
Good for her.
Like the plungingest of V-necks you could possibly imagine.
I was like not expecting this to be the character named Elsa. I gotta say.
She's Elsa from Frozen.
She's Elsa from Frozen.
She's also Frozen.
I was like, honestly, the Satella person.
How did you know her?
Looks more.
Did they say her name in this episode?
I think they did.
Yeah.
Huh.
They don't. I don't think they say her nickname though.
No, they just call her Elsa.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh yeah. She has a nickname next episode. It's fine. So. She walks in, she drinks a milk, she licks her lips seductively, and they're like doing bartering at the table, and Rama's like, this Metia, this Celid phone, this thing with games on it, this is worth 20 holy coins. And Elsa's like, well, I don't give a shit about that, but I don't have 20 holy coins, so I guess you win this this bidding war.
It's like worth more than 20 because like she could like kind of price gouge it, but whereas like
oh yeah, for sure,
Elsa only had 20 flat, and
yeah,
so she was gonna like get up and leave, but
and then they ask him, well, what are you gonna do with that now? What are you doing now that you've won the insignia? And Super says, I'm going to Disneyland, and everyone hates that answer.
That's kind of what happens.
He just says that he's gonna return it to his rightful owner, and everyone gets. He says, I'm going to return to its rightful owner. Everyone gets, like, really fucking pissed.
they say he's a cringe Disney adult.
He's a Disney vlogger.
Oh, no, he's too much of a hikikomori to be a Disney vlogger.
Isn't that something
Subaru
Ben
does not know what Disney World is?
Isn't that something like Ben Shapiro's sister does on her YouTube channel? She just like she doesn't have any friends to go with her. She just talks about the stuff she'd want to see at Disney World.
Oh no!
Okay. A, did not know Ben Shapiro had a sister. B, did not know this about her.
Oh yeah, he does. She's interesting.
Those apples fell close to the same tree, I would say.
Yes. She sucks.
I bet that she does. So Felt like tackles Subaru to the ground, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And like the camera pans up to reveal that Elsa just like did a big slash right where Subaru was just standing with her like epic curved knife, and she's just doing the most like, oh, Ada, like the most like sensual, like I'm gonna kill you type voice.
Yeah, she's like, like she just becomes murderous after like saying that Subaru is with them, and we're like, who the fuck is them? But like,
yeah, he's like, she's like, you're with them, huh? And then she like licks her lippies again and like goes for the kill, but she doesn't do it.
It's so horny. I was like, whoa.
She's sexual.
She's extremely sexual.
Yeah.
She loves to kill, is the thing.
And I have nothing but respect for her. She's using knockoff.
She's using knockoff.
She's using fucking slash.
She's using sucker punch. She's using triple
night
axle.
slash.
Yeah.
Well, Weeball doesn't get sucker. Can you imagine if Weeball got fucking sucker punch?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Anyways.
So yeah, Subaru ends up watching the other two die.
Well, yeah, because he watches Rom like try and square up with her, and Rom is just like fucking swinging his big his big club in front of like into every prized possession that he owns. Like he's just blowing up his whole shop. He gets his arm cut off and is like, well, at least I can use my other arm to take you down with me. And Elsa's like, I forgot to say thanks for the milk, and like jabs like the broken bottom half of the glass of milk she drank earlier into his mouth and kills him.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a
There's
lot.
a lot going on.
There's a lot happening.
He also watches Felt like goes fucking sicko mode for a brief moment. She like moves at like the speed of wind and is like, oh, I'm so fast, I'm epic, I'm gonna hit her, and then Elsa just cuts her in half hot dog style.
Yeah.
She kind of has like some kind of wind magic, but yeah, Elsa fucking destroys her.
I think Elsa says like blessed by the wind, huh? And Elsa, Subaru tries to make a run at Elsa, and Elsa just like basically pushes him away with one hand, and she's like, well, you don't seem very strong. I don't think you have any blessings or anything. You seem kind of like piss weak and like you suck shit. I'm gonna kill you now, I guess. And like Subaru like remembers how he died the first time and like fucking stances up briefly, and like she swings at his tummy. He like dodges backwards and then does a spin kick on her. But then it turns out that he didn't dodge the tummy slash, and he bleeds out to death as Elsa sits over him. As Elsa kneels over him and is like, oh, you're dying slowly, 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 slowly. And Subaru's like, when am I going to die? This is taking so long. When am I going to die? When am I going to die? When am I going to die?
She
When
did
am I gonna
Omae wa mo shinderu.
She's just like sitting there waiting for him to die, and she is like fucking getting off on how long it is taking him to actually shuffle off his mortal
hate to
coil.
see it.
It's a lot. I was like, wow, she loves death. She loves
She's
murder.
waking up sexually horny.
Yeah. That's what she does every day. Subaru wakes up again at the Appa stand, and he like wakes up at the Appa stand, looks at the Appa vendor, and is like, this is like 3 darts is too much, and passes out. Appa Man tries to give him Appa and water, but then he sees Satella and he shouts, "Hey, Satella!" And everybody is like, "What the like?" Everyone just turns to him like he just said a slur.
He
like,
did. He just said a slur. He just called her a slur.
And Satella looks at him and is like, what the fuck is your problem? Why would you call me the name of the Witch of Envy?" And then there's like we see Subaru reflected in Satella's eyes and Satella reflected in Subaru's eyes, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, she very much does not recognize
She does not like to be called Satella.
Yeah.
I wonder what's up with that.
She does not like to be called Satella. She does not recognize him. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing behind those eyes.
Yeah. And that's the episode.
Yeah.
That is the episode.
Morg, what did you think?
I have a lot of different feelings.
Let them out. I want to hear those. I want to hear those shits.
'Cause like, you know, like I was saying, I had to like in the first half I did a lot of like pausing and like being like, I don't know. Obviously, like I was like, I can make it through it, you know, I have a high tolerance for like dumb anime bullshit. But then I got like kind of like sucked in for the second half, right? Like the only thing I really knew about this show is that he does die. Like I knew that he dies and comes back. I did not know that it was like he remembers the feeling of dying. It seems like, or at least to some extent, you know. I did not realize it was going to be so like much, and it sounds like it's just kind of always is going to be like pretty violent, which is fine, but it's just not something I was prepared for some reason. And yeah, I don't know, but like it's something where I'm like I'm interested in where it goes. I'm a little, I think I could either like very much like it or like just feel it be like, maybe I don't like it as much as you two do. Like, I'm wondering, like, where I'm gonna fall, kind of.
It's really hard to gauge from this first episode because, like, I think that, like, the trajectory of someone who winds up really liking the show and the trajectory of someone who winds up just being, like, mid on this show is, I don't know, I feel like it's a similar start.
Yeah.
It's just a question of if the show gets. I think the show starts most people in one place, but it's just a question of if your opinion of the show improves or declines.
Yeah, I did start out like very mid on this show, to be clear.
Yeah. Niamh will love to mention about how like when I was showing this to her, she was like, "Well, this seems okay."
I was preparing the very like diplomatic, like I can see the appeal. I can see why people would like this.
Yeah,
That's kind of how I feel. I think I'm also just like worried since I was like talking in like my podcast's Discord, Did You Want Ghost Case? Someone saying like they watched like 21 episodes and didn't end up liking it.
Well, that's their opinion, and I'm going to respect it.
I think I will, because like I think this is like something where I'm like, first of all, I feel like Sara generally knows stuff that I like. And it's also something where I'm like I said, I have a high tolerance for like dumb anime bullshit. As long as I can stop to cringe sometimes.
And the thing that's great about ReZero is that if you hate Subaru the protagonist, I have some great news for you, which is that you are going to get to watch him explode into a fine red mist countless times over the course of this series.
The problem is that I don't hate him.
I also have to admit that as someone who loves Subaru, I kind of also like it when he explodes into a fine red mist. I find it fun.
Girls,
sorry to Subaru. I know it sucks for you, but like I'm having a good time.
Girls do this to me.
Girls do not do this to me. I do not have the ability to respawn.
Well, I think that's just your problem.
Yeah, it is, but like girls still should not do this to me.
Oh, you don't want to be fucking like disemboweled?
I can't say that I really want to.
I don't know if I would either. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't hate him, but I can see why people hate him, and I don't love him, and I can see where there's potential for growth for people to love him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just feel kind of like he's
Subaru
fine.
goes places. He honestly, he's fine is probably a higher opinion on him than most people have at this point in the show.
He's fine's not the right word. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like
his WAR stat is complete 0. No wins above replacement, but no wins below replacement.
We can't do jock shit on this show, though.
He's someone that, like, I don't know if I would, at this point with just this episode under our belts, like, I don't know if I'd want to watch a show with this protagonist. But I understand that there's, like, he grows, and that there's other characters that are great. Like, I already like Phil.
Yes.
I like Phil a lot already. I think I could like Satella. I don't know her that well. You know, it's very mysterious. I think Elsa's, like, kind of a lot, but I think she could be, like, a funny, like... Not funny, that's not the right word. Like
she's a laugh riot.
It was just absolute fucking gutbuster when she sliced Subaru open. I mean, literally a gutbuster, yeah. She did bust his guts.
But it's more like a... I don't know. I was like, oh, I wonder where she's coming from. Will we learn more about her? That could be interesting. Or she could just be, like, horny, and that would suck. But whatever.
You don't learn anything about Elsa's backstory until like the end of the second season.
Wow.
I'm just realizing now, which is really funny. Anyways, we got some questions.
We do get questions.
Cass at Cass Shishi asks...
Well, hang on. Where can people ask questions if they have them?
Oh yeah, if you head to twitter.com/foodre0, that's FWDFWDRE0. Food you can ask us questions. We've got our incredible by the time you're hearing this, we'll probably replaced it with like our official actual cover art, but like I like the mock-up that I made in the meantime.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Cass at Cass Shishi. What kind of music, or Cass Hishi, I don't know if that's supposed to be Cass Shishi or Cass Hishi, whatever. What kind of music do you think Subaru listens to? I'm not going to finish the rest of this question because I think it's already planted an answer in my mind, and I don't want to give the answer. I don't want to give the answer that Cass had to either of you.
I was looking at it already.
Answer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
I think Subaru listens to like stupid idol shit.
stupid idol shit.
Yeah. I think he listens to, like, idol shit that is stupid.
I definitely see Subaru like I think Subaru is like K-On! I think Subaru likes K-On!
Yeah, that is the less cringe version of what I was thinking.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of He's a huge fan of Fran Choo Choo from Zombieland Saga. That's also not bad idol shit. That's good idol shit.
You can
I don't
only
know any
think
bad
of bad
idol shit.
or you can only think of good idol shit.
Right, I don't know any bad idol shit.
He tried to make.
He likes Love Live again. Good. Subaru absolutely knows like all the words to Snow Halation.
Oh yeah, he probably does. Like he probably likes some good idol shit, but also some bad idol shit. He probably likes. He probably tried. He probably likes that fucking. You would think for someone who likes Vocaloids, I would know the name of this, but like that Vocaloids music fucking video game people play. I forget what it's called.
Project Diva?
Yeah, Project Diva.
There it is. Yeah. Hatsune Miku, Project Diva. Subaru loves it.
He likes to play it.
Yeah.
And that's like fine. That's normal. I would also play that probably, but
yeah.
But then he also would like. I think he would like. I'm projecting onto him because when I was 17, I liked like pop punk and stuff. I wonder if he likes that kind of stuff.
Oh god, yeah. Subaru's so sick of this fucking town.
He's so sick of it. He looks sick of it in the first episode.
You ever been so sick of this fucking town that you just decide to get isekai?
Yeah.
Stuck in the suburbs no longer.
And then to answer for Cass's answer, I haven't started watching the show yet, but for some reason I associate his design with 100 gex.
I could see that.
I think I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can as well. Especially like, God, I'm sorry. I just gotta. This is like jumping into a thing that like I just want to talk about. I think Subaru is one of the most distinctly designed like black-haired generic anime boys in existence.
I would agree.
Like. I really think that like there's just so many small things about his design, like the way his hair is styled is like really unique, like to me.
He's always smiling in like a very enthusiastic sort of way.
Yes, yeah. The little bits of orange that's on like his collar and like the stripes on his jacket like really make the outfit really make everything pop that much more. I really think Subaru's design is like phenomenal.
He just looks very comfy, and I like that about it.
Yeah, he's chilling.
And like that's what you would wear if you were just like gaming all day. Like why the fuck not? Like
he's Saturday chilling. Don't fucking at him.
Like he's the only thing that would be like I would maybe be wearing like fucking comfy goofy PJs instead, and then I would have to deal with people like
you stuck in Lugnica wearing the fucking Pikachu or the Snorlax onesie.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't lounge in that just because it's so goddamn warm, but I would like it would be like the one day I was wearing it or whatever. It would be like,
right, oh fuck, it's laundry day, and I really need to get that free Slurpee at 7-Eleven.
I love this thing, but it's goddamn. I get warm so easily, so.
Tufster McGee at Tufster McG. How many times does a big titty goth GF have to kill you before you stop wanting to date her? I mean, I'm sure there's a number, but I haven't found that number yet.
I mean, technically it's once, because to my knowledge, I can't return by death, so.
Yeah, I cannot want after that first one.
But, assuming I do, then there is no upper limit.
I'm sure that there is an upper limit for me, but like I don't know what that number is. Like I'm gonna say like I think like after like the 5th time I would be like, okay, I think I've learned my lesson. I'm on this run, on this loop, I'm just not gonna go anywhere near her this time.
It would depend a lot.
She's establishing her boundaries.
On this playthrough I don't think I'm gonna romance Garrus. I think I'm gonna go for like Tally or something.
Yeah.
It would depend a lot on like if I remember getting fucking gored. Like, if I remember the feeling of that, it might just be one. Like, I might be like, owie, that hurt. I don't want to face you anymore.
Oh, my stomach!
My poor tummy! I know I'm alive now, but, like, that was a little much. because I'm a fucking wimp. But if it was like,
Okay, Morg. I think not really having fondness for the person who disemboweled you, I don't think that makes you a wimp.
no, I know. But
It's a red flag if they don't like being disemboweled.
you know there's gonna be people who are like, oh, there's no upper limit.
Fucking special snowflakes out here, fucking only being able to put up with one disembowelment. Like, come on. My wife disembowels me every night, and I don't fucking blink.
You know, back in the 40s, like, 16-year-olds were lining up to get disemboweled. Now look at us.
I'm just like the sitting, I'm the sitting Shiva.
yeah.
Ow, my
The little
tummy!
crying sitting Shiva. My tummy.
My poor tummy.
Last question from Haunted Transgender Gray Spirit Doll at Loves a Small Song. I know absolutely nothing about ReZero. If you were a car, what kind of car would you be?
I would be a Toyota Adam Corolla.
I want
My real answer is that I would be a train. That's the best kind of car.
Ooh, that is a good answer.
No, you have to pick a car. None of that
No.
shit. It has to be a car.
Train good, car bad.
Train good, car bad.
I agree, but the question is not what kind of transport would you be. The question is what kind of car would you
I
be.
would be like a hybrid truck, I guess.
Viewers, vote now in the replies. Is a train a car?
Is a train a car? Is a train a room? Like,
I would be my answer to this question is I would be the cube, like the cube car.
Oh, that's a good answer. I love it.
What's the one, the little Mini Coopers?
Oh, a Mini Cooper. Oh, I can totally see you as a Mini Cooper. Morg.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that is actually a very Morg pick.
either
Yeah.
like I had said a truck at first, and I'm like, I would not be a truck. I would drive a truck. I would not be a truck. I would be a Mini Cooper.
Okay, Niamh, if you can't answer train, is your answer Toyota Adam Corolla?
No, I guess...
a train, but off the tracks.
Yeah.
There's a train driving on the fucking I-90.
Just gouging tracks into the pavement.
It's like at the start of Cars when Lightning McQueen drags that engine block through Radiator Springs.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess I would just probably be like a used Honda Civic or something.
I love that for you. That's it for. I think that's it for the that's it for as far as we planned. We might have like segments or something next time.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
about
This
that.
went pretty long. I don't know if we
We've
need
been
segments.
at
Yeah,
this for almost 2 hours, so...
God, you know what? Good for us though.
Good for us. We found stuff to talk about.
Okay, so first of all, like I said, we can be found on Twitter at foodrezero, FWDREZERO. We are on the Noisepace.xyz network. Thank you so much to Matt GameCube for creating and hosting so many great podcasts. By the time this episode goes up, we will have received what I'm sure will be our incredible cover art by friend of the pod, Ognian. Check out their art at Kalolifer Art. That's KALOLIFERART. And I can be found on Twitter at Sunhatzhenya, SUNHATZHENYA, and you can listen to the other pods that I do, all of which are on the Noisepace.xyz network. You can listen to Fear Baiting, which is a horror movie podcast that's currently on hiatus, but will be coming back in January. And you can listen to The Wonder Years, the Animorphs podcast I do with my friends. Hidden Your Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, a perpetually hiatus leftism podcast, and Special Grade Snacks, the aforementioned Jujutsu Kaisen watch-along podcast I do with my very good friend Kay. And I think that's all of my shit.
All right.
You can find me on Twitter at Haunting the Morg. That's Haunting the MORG. You can find me on my other... God, I have 3 podcasts now. One of them is not noise-based, but it's on hiatus. It's called Departure Lounge. It's a plane-themed hunter... ex-hunter watch podcast, where I watch it for the first time. That's kind of my thing. Watching things for the first time and talking about it, because my other podcasts that are on Noisepace are the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast where I learn about Sonic from Dan mostly, but yeah, me and Devin do. And then my last one is Digimon Ghost Gaze, a Digimon Ghost Game watch podcast. No one has seen it because it's coming out now, so of course I'm gonna be watching it for the first time.
time.
Yes. That's all, I think.
Yep. You can find me on Twitter at Nickelwolf. I do not have any shows to plug that you can listen to right now, but in the very near future, keep an eye out for the Pod Hand title pending, which I am doing with artist of the show Ognian and Sue at I can't remember what their Twitter handle is right now.
Sue makes art, I think. Yeah.
So until next time, I'm Sara.
I'm Morg. How are we ending this?
How are we?
Niamh, say your name and we'll find out.
I'm Niamh, I guess. Goodbye.
And oh fuck, we're returning. No, that's nothing. Bye.
Bye. Get out of here.